Mentions. Today is Friday, October 20th, and I am back with my stitching update. It's been the usual 2 weeks since my last one, so I hope you have all been doing well. If you're brand new to my channel, welcome. My name is Olivia, and this is my YouTube channel, Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. Today's video is going to be about my cross-stitching update and a tiny smidge of quilting. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, I hope you will consider sticking around. And as always, welcome back to my amazing subscribers. Before I get into today's video, I do want to say thank you to everybody who watched my previous video and who left such great and kind comments. I always appreciate each and every one of you. It takes a little bit of time out of your day to hang out with me. Over the past 2 weeks, at least for me, it's been very busy, and I'm actually surprised it's been 2 weeks since my last video because I feel like it's only been about a week, but very busy. I think I mentioned in my last video that I've been working a temporary seasonal job at a local harvest festival, and it's been a lot of fun. I've worked 4 out of the 6 weekends, so I just have 2 more to go. And I think when it's done, I will be a little melancholy that it's over. It's just such a great atmosphere. And even though I come home each night that I work and I am absolutely physically and mentally exhausted, it's been a nice change of pace for me. And the reason why I decided to work there was to make Christmas money this year. So having that little bit of stress sort of off my shoulders has been nice. So I've really enjoyed working there, but because I have been working there, and especially during those weekends, I think I worked a regular weekend and then I worked a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So because I've done that, and especially even before my last video, having progress to show has been really difficult because I just do not get as much time as I used to, especially during the weekends. Usually the weekends is when I get a lot of progress because once I get done with my chores or errands, it's usually like quilting or cross stitching, and I just have not had the time to do that on the weekends. So once the seasonal job ends, it'll be good to kind of get back to that and to maybe get a little bit farther on my projects. I do have progress to show today, but the one hobby that has suffered is my quilting. So I only have a smidge to talk about today, and of course that will be towards the end of the video. I do apologize. I know some of my quilting friends were really disappointed that I did not have any quilting progress to show, but I just have not had time. But I look forward to getting back to, working on some quilts for myself in November. So in my last video, I did have a giveaway, and thank you so very much to Amy, Mrs. Flossie, for donating that giveaway. What she did was very generously offer one PDF pattern of the winner's choice to the winner. And so the winner is Rachel Stitches. So congratulations. If you can get a hold of me via email, once you do, then we'll go ahead and I'll point you in the right direction of what you need to do to claim your prize. But thank you so very much to Amy for offering up that giveaway. And again, congratulations to Rachel Stitches. So I have been able to watch a little bit of Flosstube over the past couple of weeks, not as much as I wanted to. The reason why is kind of in between Flosstube videos. A lot of the true crime podcasters that I watch, they've been doing sort of like October content. So it's like Halloween or haunted stories. And, I'm a huge sucker for a haunted story. So I've been watching a lot of that, but I've been trying to sprinkle in a little bit of Flosstube in between. So the first one I watched is Jenni, who is Calculated Stitcher. Then I watched Olivia B, and she has been doing, they're called vlogs, even though what I do technically in making this video is I'm making a vlog, but she does it daily, and then at the end of the week, she'll put all the videos together and upload it. So it's kind of watching a little snapshot of her weekly life, and I love those. So it's been a lot of fun to watch Olivia B's vlogs, and I saw today that she just uploaded one, so I'm hoping to be able to sit down and start watching it because it's always a lot of fun. And then I've watched Judy, who is Stitching Bunny, and Michelle Farmgood Dry Goods. So I will put a link to all of the Flosstubers that I mentioned And like I said, I've got a lot hanging out in my queue on YouTube to watch, so I can't wait to get to all of those in between all of the haunted true crime. Over the past 2 weeks, I was able to continue getting some progress on a variety of my projects. My main goal for the 2 weeks was to make sure that I finished my assignments on Elizabeth Furniss and Houses of Hawthorne Hollow, which I was able to do. So the first project today is the Houses of Hawthorne Hollow by Carriage House Samplings, and I am stitching the third block here, and I am working on it with my friends Becky, Socks for Mom, and Yvette, who is Yvette Go on Instagram. Yvette has broken up each block into 4 segments. So in September, I stitched the bottom portion, and October's was to do around the house. So I was able to complete that last night, and here it is. So really enjoyed working on this particular one. It took way longer than I know it should have, but I got it done, and that's all that matters. So I am stitching Houses of Hawthorne Hollow on a piece of 40 count Heritage by Picture This Plus. And I'm stitching it with the called for DMC that so far has been converted on the chart. And I'm stitching it 1 strand of thread over 2 linen threads. So really, really love it. And I actually had to take a moment and look at it because I noticed the one house is up higher. So of course I panicked, but that is the way it's charted. So in November, Yvette has the house split in half. So part of the house will be stitched in November and then the final part of it in December. So at the end of the year, I will have 3 blocks complete in my 5-year project. So love working on it. It's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to getting back to it in November. So I did have a brand new start over the past 2 weeks, and it comes out of the Winds of Autumn book by Blackbird Designs. My book actually just fell apart last night, so this is just the cover of the booklet. But I am stitching First Winds of Autumn, and this was a birthday start that, so Becky, Socks for Mom, and Christine of Hollis Hands Create, I think their birthdays are on the same day. I'm a little shady on the details, but I'm pretty sure their birthday is either on the same day or around the same day. But we started it on Christine's birthday. I can't remember what day it was because I was working. So I'm in a group chat with Becky, Christine, Yvette, and Kristie. And while I was working one of the days, there was this big because I'm in a text group with them, there was a whole lot of stuff. So I'm a little shady on the details. I probably should have checked before I did today's video. But anyway, we're stitching this for their birthday. And it's been a lot of fun. And I'm so glad that they asked me to join along. So this is the progress that I made. And I have decided that I will be framing my piece. I know that typically you finish this and you do it into a big strawberry, but I actually like it framed much better. One change I did right away is you're supposed to put the date in the roof of the house, and I just filled the whole house in, and I will put the date somewhere else. So this is the progress that I was able to make. I think I worked on this for 2 evenings. So I'm stitching this on a piece of 36 count Vintage Beeswax, which I believe is the called for, and I'm stitching it with all of the called for threads, 1/2. I love it. So I can't wait to get back to this one. I stayed up extra late one of the nights so I could get the house completely done. And I love it. So I'm glad that not only did they ask me to join in, or maybe I said I was going to. Again, I'm in a big text group with them, so I'm not sure how it is that I ended up being in the stitch along with them, but I'm glad I am because it's been a lot of fun, and it's always way more fun to stitch on things with friends. I also have a number of stitch alongs that I will be doing with them as we go through the rest of the year. I think one of them is on Halloween. And again, I'm a little bit shady on the details. I need to go check that out because a lot of the stuff happens over the weekends when I'm working. My last project is Elizabeth Furniss 1836 by Hands Across the Sea Samplers. So in my last video, I think I had finished the grass and I had started the pot, and I was able to complete my October assignment on this one. And I am stitching this one with Yvette, Kristie, Crosshatch Quilts, and Becky, Socks for Mom. And we started this last year on Yvette's birthday. But here is my progress. So in my last video, I was down on this side here. I was working on the pot that's down at the bottom. And after I finished that video, that night I went in and I completed the pot, and I got it all the way done and discovered it was in the wrong place. Usually that's not a big deal for me. I just kind of fudge it and, roll on. But because it's a mirror image of the one on the other side, I realized I would have to take it completely out and restitched it. So because I had to do that, I lost a couple of days progress on other projects so that way I could go in and fix it. But I'm glad that I did. So the assignment was just to do 3 border flowers, that upper portion of grass that you see sticking out, the pot, and then the squirrel that is a little, just a little bit over to the side. I went a little bit farther on the border because I wanted to make sure that when I restitched my pot, it was in the correct spot. So I did a little bit extra, but that's okay. So I am really looking forward to getting back to this in November. I enjoy working on this piece so very much, even though I just about pulled my hair out in frustration when I discovered the pot was in the wrong place. But again, I probably shouldn't have stitched it while I was so tired. But love working on Elizabeth, so I'm stitching this on a piece of 40 count Bee's Knees by Seraphim Fabrics, and I am using the DMC conversion that is listed on the chart, and I'm stitching it 1/2. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. The next project I worked on was Jack's Bash by Plum Street Sampler. So I am stitching this on the 13th and the 31st of the month with Katie of So Tattered. And if there's not a 31st on the month, it's the last day. So the progress on this wasn't tremendous. I think the 13th was last Friday and I worked that day. And by the time I got home, I was dead tired. But I was able to complete the over one in the upper top middle of Happy Halloween, and then work on the alphabet that is down below. So I did have somebody make a comment on this particular, when I posted a picture of it on Wednesday, and they commented that it was missing alphabet letters. And I feel like anytime I post a sampler, I have that it's always a very similar comment, pointing out that I'm missing alphabet letters. And I mean, quite honestly, I look at hundreds of pictures a day of samplers, and I couldn't even tell you if it would compute that there was a letter missing. But I'm assuming because, it's supposed to look kind of old-timey, that the alphabet was done based on a reproduction sampler, and a lot of those are missing either the J or the Q's. This one is missing a J. And yes, I know, I'm stitching it as charted. So I am stitching Jack's Bash on a piece of 36 count grandma slip by XJUDesigns, and I'm stitching it with the called for threads 1/2. I love it, and I cannot wait to get back to this on October 31st. I've decided that I am going to take the day completely off. I'm not going to do any chores. I'm not going to do anything for anybody. I'm going to sit down and take the day for myself, and I'm going to work on Jack's Bash and my new start, or my new restart that I'm doing with my friends. So I think that'll be a fun Halloween. I did a little bit of retail therapy over the past couple of weeks, and I have been very, very slowly trying to build up my 40 count linen stash. I don't have a whole lot. I think I have about 2 or 3 pieces of linen, but I've been trying to get a little bit more variety, just so I have some options. If I'm working on a project and I'm not loving the linen, I have some options in my stash. I don't have a large stash, but 40 count is a count that I enjoy working on, and it would be nice to have some backup, or even some to choose from whenever it is that I want to start a project. So the first piece of linen that I purchased was a piece of Cypress by Fiber on a Whim. I really love this. To me, I feel like I could stitch either Halloween on it, I could stitch something Christmassy, something winter, or even patriotic. Love it. Not sure how well it's showing up in the viewfinder, but it's definitely like gray with a little bit of green. And I really, really love it. These two linens were actually contenders for Halloween piece that I am going to be restarting on Halloween, but I've decided that both of these I will not be using for that, or either one I won't be using for that. And the second piece I got is Seraphim Fabrics Time Goes By. I love this one. It's a beautiful, like greenish, mustardy, beigey linen. I don't know how really to describe it, but I really love this one. It would be perfect for a sampler or anything primitive. It's just such a beautiful piece of linen. So I'm very happy to have these two pieces of linen to add to my stash, and I can't wait to find the perfect projects for both of them. I did receive a package from the Fat Quarter shop, and all of the items they sent me are available now on the Fat Quarter shop's website, and I will put a link to their shop down below. The first item they sent me is a needle minder. It's called the Quilted Witch, and this one is taken from Lori Holt's. She has a quilt that is a witch and also a cross stitch piece, and this design was taken from both of those pieces. The next one is a bee needle minder, also from Lori Holt of Bee in My Bonnet. Then some thread bling, also Lori Holt, Bee in My Bonnet. Some floss drops that are in the shape of pumpkins. Love it. A quilt pattern from It's So Emma called Tail Feathers. Such a cute quilt. Castle Courtyard is also another quilt pattern by It's So Emma. I love this one. I actually am thinking about making it. Then the Quilted Witch quilt pattern by Lori Holt. I think my friend Retha is making this one, and I cannot wait to see it finished. Then the Quilted Witch cross stitch, very, very cute. And we have the Chicken Club Percy by Lori Holt, Be in My Bonnet. Then a Spooky, which is Simply Signs Pattern Series number 5 by It's So Emma. Very, very cute. And a cross stitch pattern, which is Stackable September by It's So Emma. So very, very cute. So again, all of those items are available now on the Fat Quarter Shop's website, and I will put a link to the Fat Quarter Shop's website down below. And as always, thank you so very much to them for sending those items my way. Well, my friends, as far as all the cross stitching goes, that is all I have to show and share in today's video. If you've stuck around for this length of time, thank you so very much. I am going to start talking about quilting next, so if that's not something you're interested in seeing or hearing, this is a great stopping off point, and the plan for me will be to be back in 2 weeks, so I hope you have a great couple of weeks. Thank you so much for stopping by today, but now quilts. All right, let's talk about the tiniest little smidge of quilting that I have to talk about in today's video. I do want to say thank you to everybody who left such kind comments about my Hocuspocusville quilt. It's my favorite quilt. I love getting it out every year, and it made me so happy that so many of you guys were looking forward to seeing it come out again. This time of the year always makes me a little sad, especially as we approach the end of October, because I know I'm going to have to put it away. But I love having it out. I love seeing it every day. It just makes me so happy. I had a lot of people ask if the pattern is still available, and yes, it's available on Crabapple Hill Studios website. She also has a lot of other fantastic hand embroidered patterns. I've made tons of her quilts. Highly recommend. But thank you so much for your kind comments. Quilting. I tried really hard to have some quilting done for today's video, but the harder I tried, the more far off it seemed to be. So I've kind of just given up at this point, and if I have time to work on a quilt, I will. But over the past 2 weeks, all I managed to do was work on client quilts and then primitive items for my Etsy shop. Quilting for myself is non-existent. I foresee it to continue to be non-existent as I go through October. November, it might be a little spotty. November is actually a really busy month. There's a lot of birthdays in November, and a lot of them are on the weekends. My birthday is in November, so I'm hoping that maybe I can take a birthday and just work on like quilting for fun, because that's usually what I try to do. But then we also have Thanksgiving. My husband and my anniversary is in November. So definitely as we go November into December, it gets pretty busy. I am going to try my best to have quilting to show, maybe not my next video, but definitely the video after. And I do apologize. I know a lot of you guys were really disappointed. I tried my best, but it just did not happen. However, I do have something to talk about, quilting related today. And that is the Raven quilt by Blackbird Designs. So a couple videos back, I mentioned that I had saw this quilt hanging at the state fair, and I immediately ordered it because I just had to make it. And at that point, it was, I have to make it at some point. And then like the next day or the day after, Celeste from Celeste Create sent me a message and said she wanted to make it with me. So I thought, I want to make it. It's obviously a sign. So I said yes. I'm like, let's make it. And then a couple of days after that, Olivia B sent me a message, or no, she commented on the video and said, whenever you get ready to start this, I'll work on it with you. So I sent her a message and I told her that Celeste and I were going to do it. We'd love to have her join. And so now we're doing a quilt along with the Raven quilt. Now Celeste has already started. She is a little bit over halfway on the very first block. She posted a photo of it. Looks amazing. I'm so jealous that she's got that far. But I know that once I get through October, I'll have more time to like go out and choose my fabrics. I'm going to do it scrappy. So the backgrounds will be a scrappy background. I saw a photo where there was a quilt shop and they had used scrappy backgrounds, and I like that idea. So I've decided to do that. So I'm excited to start it. Olivia B says it's her 10-year project. So I feel very confident in saying this is my 10-year project as well. But I'm looking forward to going out, pulling the fabrics for the first block. I'm probably going to stick pretty close to the same sort of colorway, minus the background blocks, but definitely like the same like oranges, yellows, blacks, and purples that the original quilt was made from. So I'm excited to start this one. That's all the quilting I have. Just saying I'm going to be doing this as a quilt along with Celeste and Olivia. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Definitely go check out Celeste Creates on Instagram, because she did post a photo of her progress. It looks amazing. Can't wait to start because honestly, making quilts with friends is way more fun. Well, my friends, as far as everything goes, that is all I have to show and share in today's video. The plan for me will be to be back in 2 weeks. I hope that you will stop back by and visit me again. If you're brand new to my channel and you liked what you saw, I hope you will consider hitting the subscribe button. I do upload every 2 weeks. If you would like to see what I am up to in between my videos, you can follow me on Instagram. I am Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, or I do have a Facebook page called Pumpkin Hollow Quilting, and I will put a link to both of those down below in the description box, as well as list everything that I've shown, shared, and talked about in today's video will all be listed down in the description box. Thank you so very much for stopping by today, and I will see you all again next time. Bye-bye.